and he said, "Hey, my name's Kenneth Morgan." He was very much a Carny guy, right? He said, "My name's Kenneth Morgan." He said, "I hear you guys do pro wrestling back here. You wrestle on a trampoline."
Started getting into how did you get into the training? Because I've never heard that part from you.
Yeah. So the first time we begged our dad for a trampoline for years. He eventually got us a trampoline for Christmas, and we cut down trees in the forest. We had garden hose, and we took wire that he used from some of his farming endeavors, and we put wire through this garden hose, and we like built a little makeshift ring, and then we emulated what we saw on TV. And then we had a guy come to us who lived in Robbins, North Carolina, which is about 35, 40 minutes away from here. And he said, "Hey, my name's Kenneth Morgan." He was very much a Carny guy, right? He said, "My name's Kenneth Morgan." He said, "I hear you guys do pro wrestling back here. You wrestle on a trampoline." He said, "Well, I've got this innovative concept. I've got a wrestling ring that's 18 by 18, but in the center it's got a trampoline. You can get a boost off of it, and you go into the corner, you get a boost, and you do this." And he says, "It's a different concept, but I'm gonna start running tours on all the fairs here in North and South Carolina." He said, "Would you guys like to come work for me?" And we said, "Okay, sure. We'll give it a shot." And that is how we first got in front of crowds.
And you're how old? And you're how old? And how old is Jeff?
I am 16 or 17. And Jeff is 15, probably.
Wow.
How big were the crowds? How much were you making? How was the shows? How wild was it working on like trampoline?
Yeah, it was. He would get $300 a night. We would do like two nights there. Well, that's not what Jeff and I would get. He would get $300 for the whole show, but he would have about 8 people on the show. So we would probably get $25. That was about what our cut would come down to. So he did that, and we toured with him to, several different fairs. We did the Moore County Fair, which was Carthage, North Carolina, about 15 minutes from where we both went to high school. So we had like friends that were there, and they thought it was real cool. And there were probably 300 or 400 people there, just whatever would assemble around this wrestling ring that were in the county fair. So that is how that worked. And we started doing that for a while, and about 8 or 9 months into it, and he didn't have a lot of shows during the summer. It was more during like the fall and some during the spring. He said, "I'm not really making any money doing this. I don't know if I'm going to do it." And then we offered to buy the ring from him, and we bought the ring and converted it to a full-fledged regular wrestling ring that had a regular, normal, hard-ass floor. And about that time, there was someone who had heard about us doing these shows at all the carnivals and all the county fairs across North Carolina, South Carolina. And it was Italian Stallion and George South. And they asked us to come to PWF, which was Professional Wrestling Federation, and he ran every weekend. And he said, "I want to bring you and some of your other guys here." He said, "Because I need some more guys to take to WWF to do extra work. I need some more guys to work with me." He said, "You can make some money if you do it, but if you come do all my shows, I'll kind of teach you the psychology. I'll kind of teach you the terminology and how the business works and whatever else. And then you guys will get an opportunity to go to WWF." And that's kind of how that all started. First time we went to WWF was in May of 1994.